working.
Whoop, whoop.
We're
Got it
live.
right.
It takes us a while. Technology can be your friend and not your friend. It just kind of depends.
Welcome to
Hi.
our new and fun, exciting.
Today
What are we doing?
we're going to show you the new Sale-A-Bration release. Sale-A-Bration has come up with some new products that are available the 15th through the 31st. There are actually 4 items. There's a stamp set, a folder, another stamp set, and then a package of DSP. This over here is a $100 one. If you purchase $100, this is free. These two are $50. And what Stampin' Up! Has also done is they have released Sale-A-Bration Coordination. That's going to be available starting March 1st. So just stay tuned. We'll give you more details about that on March 1st. But you're going to like it, just so you know.
It's really pretty.
Our challenge today was to use some of the new Sale-A-Bration products. I have a couple of samples of things that I've done with them, and then we have some other projects. So I had an event last weekend, and we played with the Designer Series paper, and this is just the DSP and a word set. And the word set that I used is going to be one of those things you're going to want to get in March. So that's those two, and there's a closer...
Have they released that yet?
No. It's
Okay.
March
It's pre-order.
It's on
Pre-order for
pre-order. Yeah,
Demonstrators,
it's the
yes.
word set that's on pre-order.
So you can, Sherry's going to show you close-ups, or you can look at them on my blog. Then this one,
Oops.
there you go.
Wrong camera.
We have two
We have
going,
two cameras
just
going.
because of issues. And then the other paper that I used, this is also in the suite, and then I used the ribbon, that's the two-sided ribbon, because Stampin' Up! Made us a paper that matches both sides of the ribbon. So that's the $100
It's gorgeous.
one.
It's really beautiful.
And then this one is one of the other sets. These two cards come from the other set. Both of them, the set, this set here at the beginning, it's called All Around. Stampin' Up! Specifically designed this set to work with the Stamparatus. So those two cards were both made with the Stamparatus.
Oh, this one right here.
Okay, so one of the things I do for my customers, occasionally, if you're really nice and you come to camp and do what you're supposed to, they like to pick out a card. That's a big deal. That I will do at the next camp. So the card that they picked out last month was this one, and it's one that Sherry designed. And we did at one of her events. And if you can see the shimmer, the paper behind the first set of butterflies is the pretty Sale-A-Bration foil in Grapefruit Grove. So you've got the Grapefruit Grove and then a piece of vanilla, and we have it on this pretty wood Designer Series paper. So this is the card they picked. So because I wanted to show the impression folder, I wanted to show this new impression folder that is in the Sale-A-Bration flyer. It's called Country Floral Dynamic Texture Impression Embossing Folder. Someone asked me to write it down, and I said write folder.
Right here.
It's so pretty.
It's really pretty. And when I run mine through the Big Shot, the word on here says topless. And everybody goes, topless? Because then it gives them, it just reminds them that they only need one plate when they run this through, because this is one of the thick ones. So I wanted to use this new country floral.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's so pretty.
Impression folder.
So I ran it through the pretty mango color, and I put one butterfly on the front. And if you love butterflies, you're not able to get the punch, you're not able to use it, I highly recommend that you go ahead and give a little bit of love to this bundle that has all kinds of butterfly thinlits and a great stamp set. Okay? So that's what we decided to do. So there's my one butterfly, and there's the rest. So we have peeking butterflies. So that was one of their favorite projects. So I'm going to show you quickly how to kind of just put it together. You are going to fold your Grapefruit Grove cardstock in half. And if you want it to lay nice and flat, you're going to use your bone folder. And then this is highly complicated right here, girls. It's 1.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself. No measuring required, because when we measure things and there's detailed measuring, people think they can't do it if they can't find the measuring. And then we're, again, super scientific about this. We're going to snail this, lay it in here, and you want to make sure that the pointy side, that it's like this. So you're going to lay it in here, put a little snail on the back, close your card.
What?
Well, that's super easy.
I know.
I think I could do that.
So again, we want to keep it super simple. I used some words.
Maybe they want to see the inside of it.
Sure.
Just real quick. So you've got it, and it's just snailed on both sides.
So one of this stamp set has good, what I call inside-outside words, but because I didn't want to stamp on the outside, I'm going to use upwards and downwards. And I used them in the early espresso. So you have the cute little words on the inside, and you want to go ahead and do that first. I could have done it before I added my little zigzag in the middle, but you want to do it before you put this on the back because it's kind of thick. So I'm going to snail this on the back. And I'm going to put the pretty flowers right on there. And then I'm just going to, I went ahead and ran these through the impression folder so I could just pop them right out. Oh, I know. This one
so
is
gorgeous.
it's so pretty. And you can sit and take your fabulous little paper piercer and snip all these butterflies apart. It doesn't take but a minute. Then with this one, what I'm going to tell you is this is kind of delicate. And so you just want to, you don't want to yank this out or you're going to be a sad stamper instead of a happy stamper. Because you're going to want to pull this a little bit, and then if you get some resistance, go ahead and take your paper piercing tool and just kind of poke this through. It's really not hard to get out. You just don't want to tear it. And if you do, glue dots work fabulous. But this is just going to come right out of here. And then to color it, what we did was we opened these up, and I put some ink refills in here. You can use your ink refill or stick your thumb in it. And can I have a paper towel, assistant?
Certainly. Absolutely.
And then I have my aqua painter, and I like to get my aqua painter, I like to get the water running, so I'm always wiping it on my hand. And so I'm just going to take a paper towel and just sit my butterflies on here. And then we just did this and just dabbed all over the butterflies.
So cute.
And it's not really a scientific anything, but we just dabbed all the color on here. And then it's going to take a minute to dry. So either be patient with it or use your heat tool, because when you let it dry, if you don't let it dry, it's not, your glue dots aren't going to work. So I assembled all of my butterflies with glue dots. I added some of our beautiful rose thin shimmer stuff.
I've decided I need
rose
some
metallic thread.
Oh, yes, thank you.
The reason I know is because we just made that card at my camp on Saturday, and they were like, "Is this in the catalog?" And I said, "Yes." And they're like, "Where is it?"
And
so I looked it up.
I put these little gems. They went with the frosted florals in the winter catalog, but the holiday catalog, but they are a carryover. So I put a couple of those right down the middle just to make it super shiny. So it was a camp favorite, and it's a lot quicker and easier than what you would think. So that's my product that I wanted to show you from the holiday. And now, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay, I like it. All right, I'm going behind. We get ourselves sardined in here, girls. Okay.
Okay, I'll go next because that was one of my cards at camp. And so what I will probably do is and this was one of their favorites that we did this one, but now I can switch it up, and I'll probably change the colors. And maybe we already used a grapefruit grove on this, but if I change it like to maybe some blues and purples, then I can just do a new thing, and I may, I can hear myself talking on her phone. But Tanya Dieterlin's watching. Maybe do purples, and maybe do some designer series paper with the butterfly paper back there, and kind of switch it up again. Because what I've been trying to do is show my people like totally different way to use something that they've just used, which goes with what I've been doing for Valentine's. And we did on my Facebook group for my demonstrators, we did first Valentine virtual swap, and then we did Valentine sets done in a non-Valentine way. And then this week we did, if you didn't buy a Valentine set, your customers ways that you could show them cards that they could still make Valentines with sets they may have. So this was the one that I did, which is the dog set. But I made a Valentine.
Super cute. Super, super cute. Oh.
So a lot of Stampin' Up stamp sets have hearts in them. It's just a thing we do.
Hearts
like
and flowers and butterflies.
So if you have customers who today still want to make Valentines, just tell them to go look at all 3 sets, and they're sure to find something with a heart. And then just pull out all your shades of pink and red, and you're good to go. And then the other thing I've been showing them is, if you loved some of the Valentine sets, but you can't justify it, then think of ways to use them not Valentine. So this is the sweet, sweet, sweet little Valentine set, but I mixed these up with the, what's it called? My assistant, well said.
Yes, well said.
With the well said words. So the little otter now says, "You make me smile." And the little, he's so cute, the little crocodile says, "Hooray, well done." And the ape says, "Whatever, whenever, I'm here for you." And the little skunk who's throwing her hearts says, "Sending healing thoughts your way." Whoops. And then you can box those together in a little pizza box.
You can put that with some aromatherapy.
There you go. Yeah. And so
I kill myself.
we didn't decorate the box. And at camp they just made one of those, but it showed them, if you're at camp now before or after Valentine's, that you can still get that set because it's super cute. That was cute. So then I love this paper out of this is my favorite part
Mine
of it.
too.
So with this, the fern matches the paper. So I stamped it to make it be. We have 2 cameras going here. I stamped the fern so it would match the paper, and then I just cut out, you gotta hold it to the top one. There you go. The fern so it would match the paper. Yeah, they can't see it on that one. So it matched. And then I cut out the other little pieces, and I'll do a video. And then on this one, I know the stamps are distinctive, but I stamped them and then I watercolored them. So I wanted them to match the paper exactly. So then on this one, you can see that it has a border here of the wood paper, but I didn't want to waste all the wood paper behind that. And I will do a video of this card as well. But the card I'm going to show you today, when I used the wood paper, all my stuff's over here. I took the stitched rectangle and I did this. So this is actually the border that's on the card that I just showed you, which left me with this piece here. So it was sitting on the table and I needed a quick card to show you guys today. So this was the basis of what I started with. So I have the buffalo check, which is ever so popular. Every time I post anything on YouTube with the buffalo check, it gets lots of views right away. And I don't use a block. I just use my case. And then pretty much since we've had it, I've just used this one piece of paper that I keep in here. So this is my really quick way to use the buffalo check.
And you pretty much always stamp it in black?
No. Oh. No, in that card I just did pink. Flamingo. The dog card's flamingo. So what I did with this was I took, when I get a new stamp set or a new suite, I took the back of the paper and I lay it on the table and I go over and I get all of my ink pads that are in the paper.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps
colors.
you, to decide then
too.
where to start. So espresso was one of the colors, so that was sitting there. So that's how I went with this, even though this doesn't use any of the paper. So I'm just going to ink this up. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And in fact, a lot of this isn't even going to show on the card. But it's easier to just ink the whole thing. And this is going to be kind of a guy card. I don't need that shut all the way because I'm going to use it again. And then this is a sheet of Whisper White. My original card was vanilla, so we're going to get a different look. And I did it long ways and fold it in half. And so then you lay it on as straight as you can. And then you just take your piece of scrap that you keep in the thing with it and just kind of rub it all on there. And on this card, I want to especially make sure I get the edges because that's what's going to show on it. And then you just take your pick or your paper piercing tool and pick it up because it still doesn't get right to the edge. So it's kind of a rustic look. And then I'll clean it later. And then I'm going to take my blends and a ruler and just super, super quick. I'm just going to lay my ruler along here. And I have dark pumpkin pie.
So you pulled all your marker colors out too?
Yes.
From the paper.
And then you just run this along the edges. And I'm just doing first in the blank ones. And it doesn't even matter. You can do whichever ones you want. And I'm just kind of making a flannel pattern.
And why do you use the blends instead of the Stampin' Right markers?
Because they were on the table where I was sitting.
Okay.
If you do the Stampin' Right, it's a thinner line.
Okay.
So sometimes I do both because then this line's a little thicker and the Stampin' Right line's a little thinner. But because I made this card last night and it was, the Pacer game had started and we had not yet had dinner and these were sitting there, that was, you know, sometimes when you create, it's just
what's sitting around you.
And then I've got Old Olive. So these are some of our basic all the time colors. And this time I'm going to go the opposite way. And I don't even think this is the same way I did it on my card before. Because you can just do whatever pattern you want. And I'm just kind of filling in some of the gaps. And last night when I did it, I did do it on top of the brown. And I didn't quite like it as much because you can't see it. So this way I'm going just through the white squares. Which I know I am doing this different because, you know, sometimes when you make one card and it's not your favorite, but it's okay, the second time you do it, you can switch it up a little bit. It's not that it's bad the other way. I just think this way you'll see the colors better.
Super pretty.
And one day if you just have a bunch of scrap paper, you could just make a bunch of backgrounds and have them ready. So there's the background piece.
So pretty. Hey, Teresa.
And then I've got my wood piece that I cut out.
Donna.
And then the pine cone that's from the new Sale-A-Bration set. Thought that was something on the paper. It's part of the wood. So I just stamped one pine cone. It's a beautiful stamp.
Yeah, the whole stamp set is really quite pretty.
It's distinctive.
And then this stamp set doesn't have any words, so I just pulled out some words from, oh, we don't remember. It's in the Occasions catalog, and it is, yeah, the Occasions, it's the one that comes with the kit, with the glitter kit, which is really kind of a girly kind of set because all those glitter papers.
Incredible like you.
Is incredible like you. So this one says incredibly proud of you, but I just made it into a guy one. And then I'm just going to take my, I think this is light, I don't know, it's my ivory. And I'm just going to color a little bit of ivory.
Teresa said the pine cone is her favorite.
Yes, I like the pine cone too. And I think because it comes with the Christmas paper, people will see it as Christmassy, but I don't want them to see it as Christmassy. And then I'm just going to kind of blend it around. And then I also have my color lifter. Just to kind of give it a little bit of depth. And then this twine is from the needlepoint. We know that because we just looked it up. Because we didn't know what each other was doing, but it ended up that we all kind of, where's my end?
Coordinated. Uh-oh. I don't see it.
This is the other end.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Oh, that's...
Okay.
I don't know how we did that.
We'll go from this end. So, you know, I like lots of ribbon. So I'm going to go lots of ribbon, and then I'm going to double it over. And just tie it around here. We'll put pictures of all of these so you guys can see them closer. But because this set comes with framelits later on in March, right? Are they part of coordination? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the paper, and it's $100. You want your customers to be able to see that there's a lot you can do with it, but you also don't want them to be overwhelmed. So this is a nice card for them to start with, to let them see
Simple,
it.
cute.
Yeah, so
versatile.
they don't feel like, oh, I have to have a big shot, and oh, I have to have all the paper. They'll get the paper for free. But you also don't want them to think that they have to have the paper because, you know, it's this limited supply. Because once it's gone at Sale-A-Bration and they're not getting it anymore. So give them ideas to use it without the paper. And there you go. It's a cute little guy card. It could be for a girl too. But that's
so
mine.
Cool.
So there you go.
Do you want to show us the one you did?
Okay, here's
difference
the other
between-
one that's a little bit of a different
Hi,
print.
Kathy.
And I don't like it as much on the, where I colored on the brown. It's harder to see the flannel. If you're going to go to the effort, the whole 30 seconds it takes to draw the lines, you might as well be able to see them. So that's mine. So not Sonia.
I'm just gonna take this.
It's snowing here too, but not as much as it is in New York, because I know from the news this morning it's snowing more in New York than it is here. But it is snowing here. It's that gross half rain, half snow stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of yucky. Kind of where it turns from rain to snow or sleet to snow. Okay, well, the card I'm going to show you real quick.
Move all my stuff.
It's okay, I'll probably need it. What I did is, because this kit actually it's $100 for you to get the Sale-A-Bration for free. I'm going to work with the stamp set and framelit set. It's, what is it called?
Well written and well said.
You know, it's not something I just commit to memory because it's just not worth it. There's too much space in there that's taken up. But it's $76.50 for the kit, for the bundle. And then I'm going to show you some different ways to add on to that so that you can get a really cute card set with up to $100 so that they get the paper and the stamp set for free. It's funny because I haven't done my pre-order yet because I'm always the last one to order between the three of us. It's just, you know, it's something to hit the button to buy it. I don't know. But I went over to Susan's yesterday and I'm like, I want one sheet of paper and I want one stamp. She gave me this stamp set, and then I took my absolute favorite paper. Sherry and I really do, we agree this is so adorable. I think my mom made a dress for me when I was like in kindergarten with this pattern with the mushrooms, and I love it.
And we're going to be using it next week, but we're not telling you how.
Yes, next week we have something
Little
really, really,
surprise.
really fun. If you love this paper, you are going to love what we have next week.
Okay, so in order to, I'm going to make this card, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you just a couple of things. You know, you're just going to cut your paper down to the 4 5 1/4. One of the things that with the
Well said.
well said here, well said, yes,
Well said.
well said. With that kit, that I would highly recommend as an add-on for your customers, because it's going to make using these like 1,000 times easier, is the adhesive sheets. They're the are they Sizzix?
Yeah.
I think they're Sizzix adhesive sheets. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut that down, and then you're going to apply that to the back before you cut any of your words out, so that when you get ready to put your words on your card, it's very simple. I also, in that framelit kit, there are these beautiful little leaves or plants, and I thought it kind of paired well with this set. So I'm just going to put it together real quick for you. Oops. And I always forget to put my ribbon down first, but so I was consciously thinking, don't forget to put the ribbon underneath. So just gonna, oh, I cut it a little short. That's what you get when you try to prepare.
Here, you got this.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll make it a little different. I'm just gonna take some of this. Okay, well first I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna take the little leaves off and just stick this.
Which is fabulous because you just have that adhesive on there.
And I'm gonna do a little trick with the, oh, I didn't write this down, what the label punch. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But you're gonna take the poppy color and just cut that in half. I wanted a little bit of color behind each of the white cardstock. And actually I use shimmer paper, which is also another great upsell. Sherry,
Shimmer paper is my favorite.
yeah,
Shimmer paper and tulle
and
ribbon.
really I love it too, but I had never, like, in my head thought, oh, I'm going to use that for every single card I make that is white based, and now I do because I love it, and because there's 10 sheets for $8 or something, I don't know. It's a little more expensive than your ivory and your vanilla, and it is just, it takes your cards up like 2 or 3 notches. Sherry did a shimmer, this like whole card is in shimmer paper. It's just beautiful. So I would recommend doing some of your camps where you do all shimmer paper, and just because it's a little higher price point and it's beautiful.
I also like it because it's not white and it's not vanilla. It's like an in-between color.
Okay, so then I'm gonna lay this down. And then I've already cut out my little thanks. And now, okay, now this is the other thing. I've got the thanks, and I really don't want thanks you. I want thank you. So I'm just gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut the S part off. And so I've just got thank. And a little tool.
We need stamping music, so something to play in the
Yes,
background
yeah.
while you're...
Except then Facebook will take it off. Unless
Oh,
we have
we
somebody
could
write
sing.
it for us.
Or someone
We're
sing.
we're just having a pregnant pause. It's fine. So then, so what I've done is I put my little thank you and my label on here. And then I'm going to put my leaves down. And then happened to cut this too short, so I'm going to just put some adhesive on my ribbon so that I can get it to cooperate. And then I'm going to
Perfect.
take this. Whoa. I'm going to lasso that together.
That's the word of the day.
It is the word of the day. This is probably a technique you won't see anywhere else because I just made it up. You know, sometimes when you make a little mistake, it's kind of a happy accident. And then you just play with your ribbon until you get it where you want it. Okay.
Super cute.
And there you go. Yay! See, it's a little different from the other one, but not too much. So anyway, so then I was playing with this set for quite a while, actually, last night, and there's just a couple of things I wanted to point out. I used the leaves, and I put them on one block, kind of spaced out, and I really, really love the way this looked. It's just a great background. I thought it was very classic and clean lined, and it's just kind of, I don't know, I just really, really liked it. I actually meant to use it on the next card I'm going to show you, but I forgot and I stamped something different. So, imagine that. And I really, on this card, I wanted to really focus the attention on the paper because I love it so much. I love it. And you really don't need much, but I also used the stamped words from Well Said and just cut them, stamped them, and then just cut them into rectangles to make your sentiment. So you can make that anything you want. The next card,
This is my favorite.
this is actually where I started, and I was like, oh, it's going to be too hard to exactly tell everyone. So I will take this one and I'll put it on my blog, so, and you can put it in the, we'll put it in the comments. But I used the detailed or delightful detail laser cut paper. It's not the one in the occasions, but you could use that one. This is the one in the annual catalog. And then I stamped all my flowers on shimmer paper, cut those out with the framelits, which those are going to be available in March 1st for March. So if they purchase the $100 in February, then March 1st they can get the framelits that will cut these out, which I can't imagine anybody not wanting them. So I think that's a great hook. In a great sort of way, of course. So by the time you add some detail paper, the laser cut paper, the shimmer paper, cardstock, some adhesive sheets, you can get the linen braided thread or the old olive linen ribbon. You can easily come up to a $100 kit. One thing I wanted to show you is that this white ribbon, I didn't lay that on there, but you can see that it is a, I've kind of made it as the stem. And so I just wanted to show you, I'll tell you real quick how I did it. I just took a glue dot and stuck the glue dot at the end of the ribbon, so just right up here. And then I cut it. I love this ribbon. I can't remember what it is called, but if one of my helpers would want to look at it. Huh? Oh, this is on back order. Aww.
I think it comes in.
Don't we have another? Huh?
Yeah, there's a natural colored one as well, which would work with this paper, especially like.
Oh yeah, that would be super cute. So let's say that this is a natural.
And with the white one, you can make it any color you want with the blend.
Yeah, I really like this ribbon.
Or with ink refill.
So anyway, you just cut it to make your little strands, and then you're just gonna roll up over the glue dot, and then you've got a nice little tassel that it's the Whisper White Flax ribbon. Thank you, Susan. So anyway, that's what we've got for you this time around, and if you guys have any questions, oh thanks Teresa, I thought it might make a good class too. I may try it. Oh.
Okay, and then we have one last thing that we want to tell you, and then for everybody that's joined later, we'll show you all the cards again. But on April 13th, we are going to have a get-together, and it's going to be called an End Stage for Indiana. So we'll start having registrations hopefully next week. It's going to be in Mooresville. We do know that, so it took us a little bit to find a place to have it. It will include 5 stamping sessions that will all have like a theme to them. So you'll make lots of projects. Lunch will be included. It's from 9:30 to 4. So we'll get the registration. So if you can start letting people know, anybody that's close enough to come. If you sign up the first 2 weeks, you'll save money because we need to know how many people are coming. So the sooner that we can have people come, we'll have door prizes, we'll have food, we'll have swapping, we'll have lots of fun.
We'll have music.
You'll learn lots of stuff. There'll be some business class, but it'll all be tied into stamping. So even if you're more of a hobbyist, everything will have stamping tied to it.
It'll be fun.
So all of your other demonstrator people know.
If you're a hobbyist, we'll help you come up with ways to hit your minimums, because sometimes that can be
that's one of the classes that we have for sure, is being able to hit your minimums. And there is limited space because we looked at some beautiful places, but without knowing how many people would come, we didn't want to pay for anything that was giant. Hi Janine. So if you're not sure where Mooresville is, it's not far from the airport if you'd want to fly. It is the weekend of On Stage because there wasn't a close enough On Stage for us to get to. So it's real close to our airport, and it's real central to the interstate. So you'd be able, there's lots of hotels.
It's about 15
nearby.
minutes from 465, so it's not too far.
But we'll have the registration stuff for that coming up real soon. So there's that, and let's show them the cards one more time in case they missed. And we're not going to show you all of them. We'll just show you the ones that are the Sale-A-Bration ones. So that's the folder. Let's see if anybody remembers the name to the folder. that's 15,000 words long. So you can tell one of our favorite things is that paper and that stamp set.
Yeah.
Because we use that a lot. So because Facebook changed the way that we do this, we can't open it up to share this page for you to share this video except once every 28 days. But we are going to get a YouTube channel, and once we have that, hopefully it will be soon. I've gotten fairly adept at using YouTube, but it's been a long time now since I set my channel up. So that's a learning curve again. But once we have that set up, then you'll be able to share from YouTube.
And in the meantime, if you have any demonstrator friends that would like to join and just kind of hang out with us once a week,
join this group. And if you, as you start making stuff with this stamp set, we would love to have you share it on this site. It's a little bit easier than the planning place. I know there's lots of stuff on there, and I share my stuff on there, but it gets a little bit overwhelming. When you share something on a smaller site like this, it's easier to find.
We'd love to see what you're doing.
Yep. So does anybody have any questions? If not, we'll call it a day. Anybody have any questions? It'll take a second because it's on a delay. Now it's caught up.
I'd highly recommend getting some of the Sale-A-Bration pre-order stuff.
Yeah, if you don't have
I think
it,
today's the last day.